Hey guys, it's Brandon, aka B.Rich Beauty, aka your beauty best friend. Happy Monday, y'all. We're talking Real Housewives of Salt Lake City with just me today. So you know what to do. Grab your beverage. Let go. Hey, beauty besties. Happy Monday, y'all. What y'all doing over there? How was your Monday? What you sipping on? I said I needed to pour me a whole glass of champagne for today's drama and recap because these housewives last night took us on in the words of Vivian Green, on an emotional roller coaster. And we're going to talk about it. Y'all know Jeremy McShann took the day off, child, because he's moving today. So we wish Jeremy well. Cheers. Y'all, we got so much to talk about. From the hot mic moment last night to their bonding moments to a mariachi and a chaotic dinner. Where they find a whole mariachi band in the middle of Zion, Utah? But we're going to talk about that. But most importantly, y'all, as y'all are joining me today, please drop into the comments your thoughts about last night's episode. But I don't know if you guys watched the Watch What Happened Live with Andy last night. I hardly watch What Happens Live, but for some reason I stuck around last night. And guess who was the guest on Watch What Happens Live? Miss Meredith Marks herself. And we're gonna talk about this face that she got going on. But first up, they went on excursion. So apparently, not last night's episode, but the week before that, we left with this whole chaotic moment. Apparently, they made up in the middle of the night, hot tub moments, some kissing and making up in the hot tub, Whitney drinking out of a whole serving dish. Now, Whitney is a friend in my head because Whitney looks like she could party. And so the next day, all partially hungover, I'm sure, they decided they're going to break off in groups and go on the excursion. So we see that Heather and Lisa went horseback riding. So I guess on this trip, that makeup and kissing and loving on each other worked in Lisa's and Heather's. It worked out for them because Lisa likes to avoid Heather at all costs. And then we see Jen and Whitney going ATVing. By the way, I'm seriously not okay, but slightly okay with the gratuitous use of money in the midst of Jen's fraud case. The fact that Jen had this whole glam squad to braid her hair and glam her down before she went on a whole ATV excursion, hilarious to me. And then we see, obviously, Meredith and Mary and Jenny go to the spa. So you know what? I want to start with the crazy first, and that's going to be Miss Mary M. Cosby. Y'all, tell me why they went for massages. Everybody else stripped down to the bare bones, if not naked to the Christmas and the birthday suits and everything else. And Mary is fully clothed with her camisole on, her tank top, and her... I could not get past these sunglasses. I didn't know if it was giving me The Fly or what's that movie? That Black's Exploitation? Shaft. Yes, I was going to call it The Shack. And I was like, wait, that's a person. Her sunglasses were giving me The Fly and Shaft all up on the table. Ma'am, how they plan on doing a whole facial on you if you got these sunglasses on? Ma'am, how they going to get deep down into the muscles and the tissues with all these clothes you got on, Mary? And the fact that Mary just sat there fully clothed and did not think twice about it. But what got me was the chaos. Oh my gosh. Hey, I forgot Jeremy called out. Hey, be ready. You know Jeremy called out today, right? So listen, y'all stuck with me today. He over here moving. But back to this whole spa moment. The fact that the spa created a nice little sit down moment for them to, have some fruit and conversation. And first of all, Dewey don't want to see no therapist. So this marriage is doomed. Second of all, why is it, and it's a trend because we saw this with Love and Marriage Huntsville, Why do these men not want to go to couples therapy when their wives are saying, help, we need help? How are y'all just up and throwing away these relationships, or not even throwing away relationships, but how do y'all not want to seek help if there's some help that's needed? That's beyond me. But the fact that they asked how Robert Sr. was, and Crazy Mary looked them in the face and says, I mean, I'm just not comfortable talking about that part of my life. Ma'am, you're on a whole reality show. Please make that make sense. We barely see Robert Sr. At this point, is he alive or nah? Does he still live in Salt Lake City or nah? Does he still preach at this house or nah? Like, all we saw really this season was Robert Jr. and we barely saw Robert Sr. So while she's not wanting to talk about it, sis, we just need to make sure Robert's still alive, because what's happening, we don't see him at all. And I feel like we don't see him in a way that's unusual for people that are married on a housewife franchise. On some level, we see people's spouses. We see, Robin and her fiance. We, even with Karen, like we see them and her husband, we see them. But the fact here, I just have no clue why we're not seeing Robert Sr. So it makes me feel like Robert Sr. is over here someplace sitting down in the corner trying to live his best life. Now, not only do we not see Robert Sr., but Mary's rude behind had the nerve to walk away. Let me look at these comments real quick. Hey, Aunt Donna. My aunt's in the house, y'all. Hey, Aunt Donna. What's up? Happy Monday. Be ready. I keep telling you Mary is unstable. Mary is unstable with a capital un and a capital stable. I just don't get it. And we're going to talk about how Mary continues to unfold. But the fact that Mary was like, I'm not comfortable talking to y'all about my husband. I'm going to get up and get dressed. I'll meet y'all back when y'all ready to leave. It blew my mind. Because in that moment, though, it was normal conversation. Like Jenny said, and y'all know how I feel about Jenny these days. All she had to do was say, Robert's fine. I will tell him you wished him well and you asked about him. But the fact that she can't even fake the funk just tells me how dysfunctional Mary is. But fast forward, I want to talk about the fun stuff. I need to take a sip first. What y'all sipping on over there, by the way? Y'all let me know. So there's the dinner. So Jen puts together a Cinco de Mayo dinner. Great catering. She's hired a mariachi band. She looks like she's about to start the conga line in her red jumpsuit and her big lioness of a hair. But before the dinner could even start, Meredith goes to messy bone collector Whitney's room and was like, I feel like I shouldn't be attending this dinner, because if she paid for this dinner and she has this fraud case, she's declared that there's zero assets. Okay, thank you. First of all, thank you, Meredith, for bringing us the additional court reports on what's going on with Jen. But for the woman who did not call the feds, she all of a sudden is all up and through the mix of Jen's assets. And the fact that she said that Jen has declared $0 in assets tickled me, because Jen is upstairs in her own room in full glam, getting glammed in an expensive ass outfit that she got on with her cha-cha-cha-cha-cha coming down the stairs. So you over here worrying about eating this woman's taco salad. What you need to be worrying about is this gift that she's about to give y'all. And side note, Meredith, if she is giving y'all this dinner and she's declared that she has zero assets, what does it matter? It's not like the CIA, FBI, and Homeland Security can come to you, knock on your door and reclaim and repossess this taco salad you ate from months ago. Like, I'm trying to figure out, why is it such a big deal that you're sitting down at this dinner under the assumption that you think she's paid for and you feel bad about eating the food? Which, by the way, Whitney clearly pointed out that the husbands chipped in and that the husbands paid for this dinner. Which I believe there, because I feel like the way Jen tried to own this night, Jen may have forked up the money for this dinner, child, and they're using the husbands as the scapegoat. And on top of that, if the husband did chip in, did Coach Shaw chip in? And we still don't know if Robert Sr. chipped in. But what we do know for sure is the fact that Miss Heather Gay looked like a whole Frida Kala, and y'all know I came with things today. But we're going to talk about this fight real quick because this fight was hilarious. I'm completely convinced that when these women fight, they forget what they fight about and they fight in circles. And so, what I love the fact though is that Heather really wants to know why Mary does not want to be friends with Jenny. And aside from, Mary's logic about not being friends with Jenny, not making any sense, the fact that Heather called her out and said, F you, Mary Cosby. Who is your husband? It's your step grandfather. She triggered Heather, and Heather has been sitting on that for a while. And you know what's really, really funny? The way Heather responded so quickly, I was not expecting it. Because, Heather likes to, try to be everybody's friends. And then when she gets in an argument, she can't her wits don't allow her to keep up that quickly. But the fact that when she asked about, the husband chipping in, and then it triggered something in Mary, because obviously Robert Sr. is nowhere to be found. And Mary hits back with, well, why are you asking? It's not like you have a husband, which was below the belt, even for Mary. The fact that Heather was so quick to respond, I said, okay, Heather, you better be ready to shoot off that step granddaddy insult you've been holding on probably since season 1, day 1, hour 1 of filming. I live for it. Not only did I live for it, I live for that no one knew how to hold Mary accountable. Lisa's now all up in her bag, trying to make Meredith hold her accountable, like Meredith is Mary's guardian or conservator. Okay. And the entire time, Whitney is doubling down with these bones, trying to figure out why Mary does not like Jenny and how she should like Jenny. Now, here's my thing. As we know with all these franchises, not everybody's going to like each other. Not everybody's going to get along the same way. But what I do know for sure is, are they in the wrong trying to force Mary to be friends with Jenny? Not knowing what we know now, because none of us should be friends with Jenny and she got fired. But not knowing what we know now, but back then, were they in the wrong of trying to force Mary to be Jenny's friend when Mary completely says she does not want to be a friend? And oftentimes, I don't think you have to have an explanation of why you don't want to be somebody's friend. It is within our own atmosphere and ecosystem of friendships to say, you know what, something about, and this might be a Black thing. Y'all know I grew up in a Black household. This might be a Black thing to say, you know what, they just don't agree well in my soul, or they don't sit right in my spirit. So you know what, I can't put my finger on why I don't want to be their friends, but I don't want to be their friends. Is that an acceptable reason? Is Mary in the right here, not wanting to be friends with Jenny? Now, with that being said, though, I think Mary is messy, because if you're going to apologize one night and say, I apologize for shutting you out, and then the next night when they ask you about this friendship with her and you circle back to your original answer of like, I don't know her, I don't care to know you, then you got to figure out what side of the fence you want to play on, Mary Cosby, because you can't play on both sides of the fence. What are your thoughts here? Ooh, child. I agree. If you don't want a friendship, you don't have to involve yourself. And see, here's the thing. Mary doesn't want a friendship, but Mary doesn't know how to say that without coming across rude, inconsistent, and unstable. Because all she had to do was say, you know what, Jenny, I apologize for how I treated you. I didn't deserve to treat you this way. I'm very reserved. I do not necessarily think we're going to have the same type of friendship like the other girls, and I'm okay with that. But you know what? I should not have treated you that way, and moved on. But you can't give a whole apology as if you're okay and you're trying to move forward and then circle back to ground zero and treat her like trash. And in this case, yes, you know what, Mary? You're held to a higher standard because you are a leader of a church. You're a first lady. You're a woman of God. Not that we're not all, divine creatures from the Creator, but if you're going to sit in that lane, then you need to also walk and lead with love and Christ-like behaviors. And Mama does not give us any of that. Let's look at some of these comments real quick. Welcome on in, Beauty Besties. They say all the time, I'm going to disengage. Exactly. Well, Meredith says, I'm going to disengage. Mary likes to walk away because this is stupid and childish and blah, 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 blah. But, at least be upfront. And no matter what you think about Meredith, she's at least upfront. She'll tell you, don't go here or she'll disengage and walk away. Hey, KG Paris. Mary is the personification of a clock being right 2 times of the day. You can separate yourself from people with tact and taste. She's still crazy like that glue. Baby, first of all, I'm going to use that, being right 2 times of the day, because that's true, right? And you can't separate yourself from people with tact and taste. Baby, no matter how much money you have or the designer fashions you're wearing, if you don't have the taste or the class deep down inside, it don't matter, okay? And you end up wearing a gold chiffon dress after you called your son to figure out what to wear. Was that not awkward either? Like, she called Robert Jr. to figure out what to wear to this dinner, and Robert Jr. clearly put his mama on mute while he was taking a pee, even though he knew the cameras were filming. Again, the entire family is weird to me. Maybe that's what happens when you marry your step granddaddy and have a baby by him. Child, I don't know. Maybe it's the ghost of the grandmama coming back to haunt them, child, and everybody just stuck on dumb. Okay, now let's talk this gift, because you know what I thought was quite interesting? Meredith was caught up in the rapture not going to this dinner because she didn't know how it was being paid for, but Jen gave them a cute little gift, but it was the opening of the gift for me in terms of the conversation. Jen had the nerve to say, I had these with me. I was going to give these to you guys the day I didn't make it to Vail. Excuse me, sis, the day you didn't make it to Vail? Oh, you mean the day you got arrested? Oh, you mean the day Homeland Security came and knock on your door? Girl, don't be trying to clean this up. We all saw on a whole national television as that your husband, your family, and you was arrested that day. Well, your husband was arrested, but the people came to invade and search warrant your house, child. You was arrested. So you didn't just make it to Vail because you chose not to go. Sis, you got taken into custody, but I digress. Her mama is hawking her retirement account. Coach Shaw says they need to downsize, but yet you still give the girls snowflake diamond necklaces with small snowflake diamonds and the larger snowflake that's bigger in the middle. Like, sir, ma'am, where are these priorities? What is this? Don't you need to reinvest this money? Shouldn't these items be like hawked and or turned back in for a refund so it can go to the Save Jen, the Fraud Shaw Legal Defense Fund? I'm trying to figure out how, with everything that's going on, Jen still found the audacity, the nerve, and everything else to gift these women these necklaces. And don't get me wrong, if I was at the table, I would have taken the necklace too. And y'all see Meredith took that necklace, child, even though she had all the things to say about attending a free dinner. But with that being said, though, ma'am, how are you doing this on national television? They're already accusing you of fraud and your assets. Like, where are you getting the money from to still gift this, is what I have to say. So were the girls in the right for actually taking that necklace and the gift? And should Meredith, because Meredith hates Jen so much, should Meredith have given her gift back? That's what I wanted to know, because I thought it was a little déclassé for all the stuff that Meredith has to say, for Meredith to still accept that gift and to thank her, just giving away the restitution money. Okay, by the time, if, you know, because we all hope that she's innocent from these crimes and she didn't do these alleged illegal activities, but in the event she is found guilty, sis ain't got no money to pay back. She's going to probably have to be like, hey, y'all, I need these necklaces back real quick so I can go ahead and start paying back these victims. The same way they try to hawk and take back Erica Jane's earrings for collateral, but she's using all the restitution money. She clearly is not looking to downsize because she's still looking to live her grand, fabulous life of it all. Let's keep going. I'm trying to think. What else was my favorite part? Oh, baby. The fact that Meredith and Lisa, that hot mic situation, first of all, Lisa got upset because Meredith wasn't chastising and or defending Lisa the way she defends Mary. We've already established that there seems to be a closer relationship here. But what I thought was hilarious was the fact that Lisa had a tantrum and she stormed away and had her hot mic moment. Baby, what I tell you, Lisa was in her bedroom, and I just want to point out something real quickly. Beauty besties, y'all look real close into this mirror. Y'all see this man in the corner of this mirror right over here? I'm assuming it must be a showrunner or executive producer or somebody that she was in her room. So when she walked in still with that mic on, she let it rip, honey. And baby, what I tell you, she said Meredith has slept with half of New York. She is a whore. She is garbage. Why doesn't her family own a home? That's because her husband changes job every 5 minutes. Lisa says, bump the cameras, bump the loyalty. I am letting it go. But it was the 5011 ways she called Meredith a whore and or a Jezebel, as the people in the church would say, that got me. Now, y'all think Meredith was out here laying it low and spreading it wide with somebody's man and or with her own side boo? Because that's the other rumor. They were saying the reason why Meredith and Jen got into it and really fell out was because Jen was sleeping with Meredith's boo at one point. Now, I don't know if y'all watch what happened live last night, but Meredith did say that, she has dated a few people, but she has never slept with half of New York, X, Y, and Z. So to me, that's an admission. She had a boyfriend on the side, or she was dating somebody when her and Seth weren't together. And so I just want to know, how close was this friendship between her and Jen? And by the way, y'all, Jen is a whole married woman. Jen and Coach Shaw don't have issues, at least not that we know of. So the fact that Jen is being attached to sleeping with Meredith's boo, Meredith's piece, is just so interesting. It sure is. And the fact that Lisa knows all the icky sticky details and the juiciness of it all is amazing. So much so that, again, we got this hot mic episode. So I want to know if this will be addressed next episode, but they did address it and Watch What Happens Live, because Andy said Meredith saw this episode with the hot mic literally the day they shot the reunion. So the emotions and the tension was different. Now, I will say this, because Meredith, and y'all know, I'm going to switch gears real quick. Y'all know Meredith. I love Meredith for all of her antics. And y'all know I'm a huge advocate for a little, whether it's Botox filler, a little snip tuck, I'm okay. But I don't know if y'all watch What Happens Live last night, but the Meredith marks on the right that showed up to watch What Happens Live is not the same Meredith marks on the left that we just saw literally on the show and on her other interviews. Meredith, sweetie, beloved, darling, sugar baby, what did you do to your face and why that much? Let me tell y'all something out here, beauty besties. I don't work in nobody's cosmetic business, but as your beauty best friend, I know one or two things for sure, okay? Maybe four. One, you have to make sure if you don't get work like this done, you also have to take into consideration the rest of your styling. Meredith already has a big forehead. So the fact that we see that she just got, a little bit of a tune-up, heck, she just got a whole brand new coat of paint plastered and plastered all over her. That hair needs to be pulled down just a little. That hair needed to be framing her face. And her face went from being almost oval to being slightly square. So I need to know, sis, did you sit up in the doctor's chair and said, give me the square face special? I want to look like SpongeBob SquarePants, but like lifted, because the brows are not moving. You could tell she has more filler through here because now it's sitting so far out. Her eyes look even more sunken in and hollow. And she got some fillers in her lips. But she looks like she got stung by a bee. KG Paris says she looks inflamed. It looks painful to touch. It looks distracting. I don't know how Andy had to look at her for however long Watch What Happens Live is. What is it, 30 minutes? I don't know how he looked at her for a good 30 minutes and did not get distracted, because that's the other thing about me. Anytime I could tell somebody got work done, I can't help but stare. I'm always like, yeah, you don't say, because I'm looking and I'm seeing if I could see needle marks or stitching or some micro scars. baby. But this literally just looks like an over usage of fillers here. But isn't it not distracting? And don't get me wrong, like I said, I love, I will tell you all day and all night. Yes, your beauty best friend gets, Botox. Yes, when it's time for your beauty best friends to get more filler, I may do a little filler, but I'm one of those people where I just want it to enhance me. I don't need to look noticeable. I need to just always look on refresh, just constantly just, well rested. But Meredith Marks on the right, I don't know if the swelling needs to go down. I hope that as this stuff starts to wear off, she could then say, you know what, give me half of what you did last time, because she looked crazy to me. Y'all know that movie with Cher where she had the little boy with the big face? She kind of looks like that. Just with well-styled hair, okay? So y'all let me know, what did y'all think about this episode tonight? What do y'all think about Meredith's face? What do y'all think about this hot mic moment with Lisa calling Meredith everything except a child of God tonight? Y'all know the way Mary acted, especially with her not wanting to talk about like Robert Sr. and just the way she's acting in general. I kind of hate, but I'm also glad she's not filming next season. She quit because I just can't take another season of her inconsistency and the fact that she thinks that the girls are hard on her, because they really aren't. I feel like they treat everybody the same in that way. But Mary makes her life difficult with these girls. And, for once, Jenny was actually in the right in how Mary kind of like treated her. But I'm so glad Jenny's gone, y'all. But what do y'all think about this episode? This was Cinco de Mayan hell. This was like Cinco de chaos, okay? But next week, if I'm not mistaken, I think we have like 2 episodes left for the season, if not one more. So we're running up on this reunion rather quickly, and I can't wait to really dig into that, because we already see the fashions or the lack thereof that they were given, okay? Oh my gosh. And on that note, the name of the movie is Mask. Yes, Mask was the movie. Yeah, y'all not gonna tell me Meredith's face on the right don't look like the mask. If y'all don't know what the mask is, it had Cher in it and some other white man, and the boy was born with a facial defect or something like that. Y'all Google the mask and y'all look at that. Y'all look at that image and y'all look at Meredith's face and y'all let me know if I'm dead wrong or not. Okay. And on that note, guys, I got to go. Let's go ahead and click out of here. I need to see y'all full face. Hey, there y'all are. Thank you for joining me for today. Jeremy McShann should be back next week, y'all, but we shall see. But I loved hanging out with you all as per usual. I hope you guys have had a great Monday. I hope you have a great week as well. Cheers to the start of a great week. Not to be too heavy, but check on your friends and their mental health. We lost that beautiful beauty pageant queen. I don't remember her name in this moment too. They're saying a speculated suicide. So guys, love on each other. We're about to enter February into Love Month. Love every day of the year. Call up your friends, your family, and say, I love you. And hey, Anthony Quinn, happy Monday. And I love you. So on that note, guys, I got to go. You know what to do. Subscribe to the channel, like this video, and leave me a comment. Most importantly, guys, turn on those notifications and make sure you don't miss out on all this fabulous melanated magic that's happening over here. All right. Who loves you? I do. See you on Wednesday. Bye.